It was a bitter, cold Friday night in early December, one of those nights when even the stars seemed to shiver. Snow drifted lazily down in the quiet suburb of Maple Glen, the kind of town where nothing ever happened. Except that night something did, at exactly 12:03 a.m. There was a knock on Daniel Mercer's door. He wasn't expecting anyone, not at that hour and certainly not after the week he'd had. Daniel, 36, a high school math teacher and single dad, had just finished folding the last load of laundry, picking up 2 tiny socks and a crayon from between the couch cushions. His daughter, Sophie, had finally fallen asleep after 3 nightmares and 1 desperate demand for just one more story, Daddy. So when the knock came, firm, urgent, Daniel froze. Maybe it was instinct, or maybe it was years of living alone, but his mind raced. What if it's bad news? What if someone's hurt? He opened the door slowly, cautiously. There she was, a woman, early 30s, soaked to the bone, hair clinging to her cheeks, 1 glove missing. Her breath came out in sharp, misty puffs. She looked up at him with wide, anxious eyes. "I'm so sorry to bother you," she said, her voice trembling more from nerves than cold. "My car broke down just down the hill. No cell service. I saw your porch light and, could I use your phone?" Daniel didn't hesitate. "Of course," he said, stepping aside. "Come in." She introduced herself as Claire, a nurse, just finished a 12-hour shift and had been driving back from visiting her mother in the next town over. Roads had iced over quickly. Her car gave up near the bend by old Miller's farm. Daniel handed her his phone, offered her a towel, and started the kettle. They sat at the small kitchen table, steam rising from their mugs, while Sophie's nightlight cast soft patterns on the hallway wall. Claire was grateful of her, flowing with it, actually, but she noticed something, too. The house was clean but lived-in. The framed picture of Daniel with a woman and a toddler, worn at the edges. The tiny pink boots by the door. The untouched second mug on the counter, the pair of storybooks on the couch. "You're a single dad?" she asked gently. Daniel nodded, smiling faintly. 4 years now. He didn't say much more. He didn't need to. Claire could read between the silences. She didn't mean to stay long. But something about the moment, the warmth of the home, the way kindness passed between strangers without fanfare, felt rare and necessary. Claire's ride arrived 40 minutes later, her brother, all apologetic and red-nosed. She thanked Daniel again and again before leaving, but something lingered. Daniel went back inside, poured the second mug of tea, and sat. For a long while, over the next few weeks, Claire came back. Not stranded this time, but invited. First to drop off a thank you note. Then a tin of cookies Sophie devoured in an afternoon. Then again, to help string Christmas lights when Daniel admitted he'd never quite figured it out. One night, Claire brought over a snow globe for Sophie. She said she wanted one with a nurse inside. Claire laughed, tears forming in her eyes when Sophie hugged her without hesitation. And that was when Daniel realized something. Sometimes, people don't knock on your door by accident. Sometimes, kindness wears a coat and soggy boots and arrives at midnight when your heart has forgotten how to open. By spring, Claire wasn't just a visitor. She was part of the rhythm. Bedtime stories, pancake Sundays, garden center runs, and impromptu dance parties in the living room. One evening, as the 3 of them sat on the porch watching the first fireflies blink to life, Sophie whispered, "I think Mommy sent her." Daniel didn't answer at first. He just pulled his daughter close and looked at Claire, who smiled through tears. Maybe Sophie was right. Conclusion: Claire knocked on a stranger's door that night, needing a phone and a little kindness. She didn't know that behind that door was a man who had given so much love that there was barely any left for himself. A man who had quietly carried heartbreak in laundry baskets, who hadn't realized how lonely he'd become until someone saw him. In helping her, he'd found healing. In needing help, she'd found home. Sometimes the smallest moments, an open door, a warm cup of tea, a knock at midnight, change everything, because kindness doesn't just heal the receiver. It heals the giver too, and sometimes the best things in life arrive unannounced.